Hi, welcome. Come on in. I'm not sure how you found this video, so if you're not aware, there are other videos in this series. I'm going to put a link over here just in case you want to watch it. But if not, welcome to Sink It In, How to Write Songs for TV and Film. In this video, we're going to look at the different ways to pitch your songs for TV and film, and I'm going to teach you all the technical mumbo jumbo you need to numbo, like PROs, non-exclusive, writer share, timeshare. I have, if you want to help me with that debt. I'm also going to be very upfront about all the obstacles you'll face in this industry. To be clear, I mean the TV and film industry, not the textile industry. But also, we're going to look at the positives if you stick with this. You know, what's on the upside? Let's get the skinny. Now let's talk about pitching your songs for TV and film. There are different vehicles to pitch your songs. You can pitch directly to a music supervisor. What that means is you can watch a TV show and see who the music supervisor is of that show. Or you can find their information on IMDb, Internet Movie Database. If you think that your music is a good fit for them, you can try to establish a relationship with them, reach out to them, try to pitch your music that way. I don't personally do this method. It takes a lot of salesmanship, but there are several people that I know that have had success with this. Now, the other thing that music supervisors use is they use music libraries. Companies that curate different libraries of music, say an album of blues rock music. The supervisor knows they need some blues rock music, and they know this music library has, 10 to 20 tracks that they can listen to and pick a song from, and they know that that music library has quality songs, quality songwriting, and that all the rights for the songs are going to be cleared. The music supervisor can't put a song into a TV show that has any kind of copyright issues. So a lot of times music supervisors will use music libraries. The other thing you can use is a pitching service like Taxi. They actually have a combination of giving you opportunities to pitch directly to a music supervisor or to a music library. They're like the go-between between the artist and these two different opportunities. I definitely recommend Taxi in particular, and Taxi is not the only one. There are a couple other pitching services out there. The other thing that happens over time, if you build a large enough internet presence, sometimes music supervisors will reach out to you. So, they'll find your song, or they'll go to your show, or they'll become a fan of your music and reach out and say, hey, I'd like to use your song in this TV show. That's never happened to me, but it has happened to a few of my friends, and I'm very jealous about that. And I'm not bitter at all. If you want to get in this world, you do need to be registered with a performing rights organization. There are three main ones to choose from: BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC. Basically, these people make sure that you get paid whenever you have a song that has any kind of royalties associated with it. And anytime you have a song, there's two different parts of the song that you can get paid for in terms of royalties. You can get the writer share and the publisher share. Depending on the different opportunity, you can get either just the writers and not the publishers, or every now and then, depending on the opportunity, you can get both. For instance, if you were to pitch directly to a music supervisor, there is no publisher in that realm. It's just you and the music supervisor. So you would get all of the copyright that was due. So for instance, let's say after your song aired on a TV show, you were due $100 total for that song. Well, if you had the writers and publishers, you'd get to collect all of that $100. But if you only had the writers, you would get $50. And then let's say that there were two writers on that, then you would each get $25 each. There's different types of contracts with getting your songs into music libraries specifically, and that's an exclusive contract and a non-exclusive. And an exclusive, once you give your songs to a music library, let's say it's an album of bluegrass, once you give them those 10 songs in that library, you sign a contract and say that this music library are the only ones that can pitch those 10 bluegrass songs. It doesn't mean they own the rights to those songs. You'll still get paid. It's just that they are the only person that can pitch those songs to opportunities. Whereas in a non-exclusive, let's say you had those 10 bluegrass songs, you can put them in library A, you can also put them in library B and library C, because you're not bound by an exclusive contract. Now I want to show you the kind of briefs that you get that you can write to for TV and film. This would be the information that you're given up front before you start crafting your song for that project. This specific brief came from Taxi Music. This is a very standard type of brief that you would get if you signed up for them. Let's just break it down step by step. First of all, at the top, you're shown the genre or type of music they're looking for. In this case, it's anthemic, uplifting, modern singer-songwriter songs. Next, if it is a song, which the difference between a song and a cue is a song has lyrics and a singer on it, whereas an instrumental is just music. So if it's a song, it will tell you if it's male or female vocals they're looking for. The third thing in the brief is the type of company or person looking for music. This is what we discussed earlier, whether it's a music library, a music license company, or a direct-to-supervisor. The fourth thing is the reference tracks. This will show you the type of music that they think would work well for this placement. So if you go and listen to Trust in You, Hope, Look Up Child, that'll give you a sense of the instrumentation, the overall vibe, the type of song you need to write in order to have a chance to get your song into this placement. The fifth thing is the full brief. Be sure to read this in its entirety because there might be something subtle that you need to be on the lookout for. One thing I can tell you almost all the time though, regardless of the opportunity, they want you to write the lyrics in a universal way. So you need to avoid specific names, dates, times, places, and also they're going to be looking for broadcast quality in terms of the production of the song. Next is the type of deal, whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive, and how you're splitting the writers and publishing. So in this example, it's an exclusive contract, which means they are the only ones that can pitch these songs. Also, this music library will split all these sync fees with you 50-50. A sync fee is money that you get up front before the show even airs. On the front end, they will split that with you 50-50. Then once the song airs, they will get 100% of the publishing or the publisher's share of the royalties, and you will get 100% of the writer's share royalties. Next, you get the deadline, and usually these can be pretty tight, and then you'll get the links to submit. So let's look at some of the challenges for writing for TV and film. First of all, and this is something I borrowed from Chuck Schlochter, a dear friend of mine, and he's also writes songs for TV and film and has his own music library. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. For example, before I ever even had one song get into a specific music library, I had to send them 17 songs before they finally approved using one of my songs. It was a very picky music library for a very specific reason. They only like to use songs they know they can get placements for. And so it took me 17 tries to finally get a song into them. And that was just one song that I got into them. And so a lot of times too, you're writing for spec. You're not getting paid for this. So I didn't get paid for those 17 songs that I was writing. Now luckily I was able to use a lot of those songs in other opportunities, but you're just betting on yourself. You're writing songs for your future. But it gets better because it is a numbers game. It took a while to figure this out, but after I got about 30 songs being actively pitched, they were in music libraries, they were places where music supervisors could find them and potentially use them, before I had my first placement. A placement is whenever you actually have a song get placed into a TV show, a commercial, or a film. And now I currently have about 130 as the filming of this is currently being pitched, and I'm on contract to produce about 80 more songs this year. The more songs you have out there, the more opportunities to get a placement. And so it starts to snowball, it starts to compound. I do have friends that produce around 2,000 tracks a year. That's an insane amount. You can do a lot more instrumentals than you can songs because anytime you record vocals, there's a lot more that goes with that. You have to pitch correct. Mixing with vocals is a lot harder, but you could definitely bang out a bunch of instrumental tracks. But in terms of how many should you shoot for if you're doing songs with vocals, I'd say if you can get to where you're doing 100 songs a year is a very good goal. In this world, focus on the process, not the prize. There's not a lot of control we have in general in life, but especially in the world of TV and film. The only thing you can control is you continue to pump out quality songs. You can keep improving your skills, and little by little you'll start to get more royalties and sync fees, and you'll start to establish a steady income. And then also you'll start to broaden your fan base. More people will start to hear your music because they've actually seen it in shows. One of my highest played songs is a song that I had in a commercial. And so I have a lot of Spotify plays on that song because people were finding it through the commercial. Is there anything you wish I covered in the series but I didn't? Why don't you record a video then, huh? You do the research. Set up some lights and fancy gear. And the other fancy camera. I'm just joshing. I'm actually very curious. If you're new to the world of writing for TV and film and you have a question, just drop it in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer without being snarky. Can't make any promises. Writing for TV and film, it can be a very confusing, weird world at first. Kind of like going to high school for the first time. And yes, you will need an elevator pass. The trucks in this town are so loud, they're always ruining my takes. If you enjoy this video, but you feel like you want to go a little deeper into the world of writing for TV and film, well, surprise, surprise, do I have a product for you? Tools for Television. How to break into songwriting for TV, film, and advertising. It's an ebook that complements this video series, and I have a few more resources in there to help you have a clear roadmap on where to get started today. If you want to get more of these songwriting tips and tricks, be sure to whack, wallop, smack, thwomp that like and subscribe. You know what? I'm not good at this. I'm not good at self-promotion. Don't even like and subscribe. I don't deserve your love. Bye-bye.